We're live! Welcome to another episode of the Altar Bros, episode number 10. This
Come,
is my name is Joseph Bridgeforth. I'm here with my co-host Keith Bridgeforth. As you can see, we're in two different locations right now. Keith's over in Texas with my older brother Alex's wife Angel, and I'm still in San Diego at our normal house.
yep.
So,
Time a little mini vacation, I guess.
yeah, that's what they say.
Taking care of the baby.
Yeah. So this week's been going pretty good. We've taken 2 weeks off. Um, so as usual, we'll do one every 2 weeks. That's the plan. So we've been sticking to it. Don't forget to subscribe to our main channel, the Ultra Bros. We'll post a link below. So if you're on my channel or if you're on Keith's channel, then you'll know which channel to subscribe to, so you can see like every single video. And yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
plan for our show. So let's get rolling.
All right. Fun. So you picking the topic today?
I guess that's the plan. So I actually wanted to talk about today just like how important um, like having a daily routine and just like staying consistent is toward for like being successful in not just ultra running but just kind of any like just like daily like life and just have a better like just to
Hmm.
live better. Um, because I know recently I've been getting back into the rhythm of things, and over the summer I kind of was just like doing whatever, woke up and just kind of did whatever, and didn't really wasn't really consistent with anything. And I noticed that I would like my mood swings would be a little bit much, and like I would just like have no motivation to work out and stuff like that. But ever since like I started school and I've been waking up early, like I've been trying to wake up around 6 a.m. every day just to get up and get moving. Like I've noticed I've been actually like feeling a lot better throughout the day and having like a better attitude towards things. So,
Yeah, for sure.
um, but definitely like that's what I've noticed is waking up early and getting your day started early is definitely very helpful. Like especially for like people that are athletes and runners because not that necessarily have to work out in the morning, but just like getting started early is going to give you that much more motivation to like get things done and get your workout in and just like I don't know have a better day.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely notice that too. When I'm in a routine, I definitely focus more on the stuff that I need to do, or the stuff that I want to do, versus the stuff that I shouldn't like waste my time on, like
Yeah.
video games or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, and I notice waking up early also, you seem to be more productive throughout the day. Um, just kind of the way it works, I think. I also noticed if you cut out your distractions, like for me, one of my big distractions is video games. I like to play video games. It's kind of a stumbling block of mine, I guess. But I know that like when I restrict myself to like only like 30 minutes or an hour a day, I tend to get more done because I find myself doing other stuff that I normally wouldn't do, and it's other stuff that I really should do and I want to do.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's true though. Getting in a routine and having a set schedule definitely helps you be more productive. I notice that a lot.
Yeah, that's I mean I totally agree. It's like getting rid of those distractions and just like definitely starting the day early is definitely an important thing to do. It's going to help you to be that much more successful.
Yeah. I think though you can't get an early morning without a good night's sleep.
Yeah, I mean, we're recording. It's 11 o'clock here. What time is it there, Keith?
That's 1
Yeah,
a.m.
so I mean, we've kind of shafted ourselves for the morning, but that's
Yeah.
okay because, I mean, it'll just be a new day tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm getting up and riding like 40 miles or something with a group, and some guys pick me up at 7, which means I got to be up like 5:30. So it's an early morning, but it's not. Hopefully, it's productive, but
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to roll with the punches, though.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. That should be. Yeah, tomorrow we're actually going to train at Cows Mountain for the
Oh,
afternoon run, so hopefully that'd be exciting. Uh, for those of you who don't know, Cows Mountain's like a 2.5, 2 mile hike up
yeah.
this mountain, and then you just kind of run back down because there's nothing on the way back down. But
It's about like I think it's like about 1,200 feet of climbing up
yeah,
and
something like
then
that.
back down. It's
It's
pretty
definitely
nice.
it's definitely not too hard as far as the distance goes, but as far as the climb's pretty good climb. Um,
Yeah.
from what I know of trail running and stuff like that, so should be pretty good. Um, but
Yeah.
I also wanted to mention that, like, when I mentioned consistency, like, just how important and, like, consistency is, like, probably the number one thing that I've noticed is important when it comes to, like, especially, like, being an athlete or, like, ultra running and whatnot, because, like, the more that you are consistent, like, the better you're going to be. Like, yeah, I mean, you can fake it and you can go out and run, like, a 10-mile run and then go run a marathon or, like, a 50K if you want to, because you can just do, I mean, we can push our bodies to the max, but, like, if you want to be successful at it, running um I mean you can run like if that's just one day a week you're running a long run, you every all the other couple of days you're just like doing a mile. Like sometimes the consistency is going to work out in your favor. If you're sporadic and you just kind of do
Yeah.
whatever, like yeah, you're still going to get like results from it, but like with consistency, like you're going to get better results and like you're going to be more motivated. You'll be able to continue doing it and stuff.
Yeah.
And also people will see that like you're consistent and they'll be motivated by you also.
Yeah. Yeah, and that goes for life in general. I mean, like I've been writing a book lately, and I've been trying to write like I don't know, probably about a page or so a day. And for the last like 3 days, I've been at it, just writing until I get writer's block, and then I stop.
Hmm.
And honestly, like it becomes something that you look forward to, or like reading,
Yep.
or anything like that, or whatever, calling somebody, or chatting with somebody, or saying hi to somebody. If you're consistent, like it pays off in the long run.
For
Um,
sure.
and you build that like habit of being consistent, and then
Hmm.
it just continues from there. So it's definitely important to stay consistent, because it's important to set good habits and not bad habits. And if you look at the people who are sporadic, and people that probably train sporadic that you never hear of
Yep.
because they're not successful, or even people in general in life, the like the most successful people, I would say, or the richest people, aren't really sporadic and spontaneous most of the time. Usually they're consistent in what they do. Usually they
Yep.
wake up and have a pretty set schedule of how their day
Hmm.
is going to go. There are a few things, minor details might change, but usually they wake up the next morning and they already have a plan of what they're going to do. So,
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, obviously, like some people, like they come up with these bright ideas and then they just become popular. But like after that, like you still have to like have a set like schedule or like be consistent with what your ideas was. Like, I mean, like if you come out with this great podcast or like you come out with this great book, like and you start writing it, like you can finish all the way to the last page, but if you don't get that thing published and you don't get it like then it's just words that you wrote down, which is still great, but like if you want to get it out there, then you got to work even harder. You have to do like set certain steps and like those that's all part of being like consistent and dedicated to what you are doing and that translate into because I mean if you look at a lot of the successful like ultra runners and like anybody that's like running like long distance, even I mean short distances like 100-meter, like stuff like that. Like all these people are consistent and dedicated to sport, and the more that you are like that, the I mean, the more fit you're going to be and healthy you're going to be because you're so dedicated to what you're already doing, and then you're consistent on top of that. And they kind of go hand in hand with just, I mean, obviously like in real life, but also like with running and fitness, it works out really well too.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of the hardest things is like as Americans, like we want quick fix, like we want results now. We don't want to wait 6 months, so we want to go like, oh, how can I get it now? And so we kind of just like push things off. We don't run 5 days a week like we should. We just run once and then we take 3 weeks off and then we run again and then we run 3 days in a row. It's like up in there because we can't stick to a certain, not necessarily a plan, but we can't be consistent because some people training plans work, some people training plans don't work, but consistency is works. It has to work for everybody. Now that might mean like you run 1 mile a day for 5 days and then you take a couple of days off and then you run five
Yeah.
miles a day. You're still like getting out there doing something. Whereas like
Yeah.
if you were just to go sporadic and not do jack, because I know me and you like we're not like consistent in the sense that we run the same exact miles we build up and whatnot, but we're at least getting out like 4 or 5 days a week, like doing something, whether it's a 3 mile run or 10 mile run or a bike ride that you're gonna do tomorrow, something like
Yeah.
that, like that you're at least getting out for like 30 minutes to an hour, like 4 days a week or 5 days a week, and you're actually like breaking a sweat is like
Yeah.
the kind of consistency that we're talking about.
Yeah. Putting your heart rate up a little bit and
Yeah.
some calories. Yeah. That's definitely important when it comes to training.
Hmm.
I know for me, that's like a struggle, but also it's not because I think I'm pretty consistent, but also because my diet, I eat so clean that it doesn't, it kind of balances it out. So like if a day I don't run or a day I choose not to do something, it really doesn't affect me as much.
Hmm.
Um, it does obviously affect you because you don't run, so your body starts resting and you start losing muscle and start losing oxygen flow and all that good stuff. But for me, if I miss a day, it's not as big as a hit as some other people who miss a day. I know, especially when I start eating bad, like bad or more junk food, I would say more processed food. I definitely don't feel like getting out there. So for me, it's a
Hmm.
matter of eating right and then being consistent. So I
Yeah.
think for me, it's staying consistent with my eating habits, and then that will overflow into staying consistent with athletics, running, and such like that. So,
Yeah, for sure. Like whatever, everything affects like pretty much everything. So like whatever you put in your body is going to affect your results that come out from your running, or if you or cycling or whatever you do for fitness. It like whatever you do for fitness is also going to affect the way that you eat. It's like a
yeah,
trickle
how
down
productive
effect.
you're going to
Or
be at your job.
yeah, yeah, like it's all like everything kind of like affects each other. Um, yeah, we can do a good job at separating things, but like if you constantly are going to your work and constantly getting like yelled at and like having a horrible day and a horrible day, like that's gonna affect you when you come home and you're supposed to go running at 6. Like you're not gonna want to because like unless like running is a de-stressor for you, then you might want to because and it's so like everything kind of like affects each other. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, another thing to note, like, is it's also, if you want to stay consistent, it's also important to set goals,
hmm.
achievable goals, and then long-term goals, especially because if you don't have a goal in mind, then you're really striving for nothing. Um, so, and they have to be objective. So, like, for me, like, I would say to get healthy, well, to get healthy for me would be, I used to be lot bigger than I am. So for me, it would be to lose weight or whatever, or something more like more objective would be to be a certain weight. Um, Not saying that you have to weigh a certain weight to be healthy,
Hmm.
but or for me, another one would be like to run a 5K time in a certain amount, and if I reach that, then I would know I'm healthy, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, so you can't go like, oh, I know I'm going to be healthy when I feel good. Well, yeah, you will feel good, but at what point? Like, do you know, like, this is as good as I'm going to feel and this is as healthy as I can be? So you got to really set some goals and make sure that they're objective goals.
Hmm.
Um, and like small goals and long-term goals for me, like running 100 miles would be a long-term goal. I don't know like how long-term that is, but
Hmm.
that's like that's a goal that I've set. So how I am going to achieve that is by staying consistent with my running or just going out on a long bike ride every now and again,
Hmm.
eating a strict diet and stuff like that. So I would say that if you don't have a goal, then there's no reason for you to be consistent because you're
Yeah.
not really chasing anything.
Yeah, definitely having something to strive for is going to make you want to get out there and be consistent. Because I know for me, like, shoot, like when we were running cross country in high school, we probably never thought that we would run marathons like 50K, like,
Yeah.
but from just running, you start setting those goals and you do them, and then you're like, okay, well, what can I do next? And like for me personally, I don't know how far I'll go. Like, I mean, I'm still in cross country season, but after this like season's over, like I can have a season next year. Like, so I don't know what like I'm gonna strive for next. Like, I mean, I want to get faster at marathon and half marathon, so like I might train for those a little bit better. But as far as right now, I'm just trying to break my PR from last year for 8K. But that's
Yeah.
basically it, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know me and Joseph, we last year we went for, well, I've tried to go for 100 days, running 100 days straight, and Joseph went, I don't know what his goal was, but mine was to run. I read some blog about running 100 days in a row, and so I started out pretty strong, and I actually made the 100 days, and then I wanted to keep on going. And I really didn't have a goal in mind. I thought was going to go to the end of the year, but that wasn't really a strong goal. That was kind of just like a whatever. It would be cool if I made it. And so there was one day where um, I was up in Sacramento, and I was just like, I was eating bad and stuff, eating a lot of processed food, and I was just like, forget it. Like I don't even want to run anymore. Like I mean, I completed the 100 days, but at the same time, like I didn't have another goal
mhm.
to achieve, so I just kind of lost consistency and said, I can wait. I can go back a couple of days later. And then I know when me and you both stopped, we like once you lose sight of your goal, like it's game over. So you gotta like I would say have a constant reminder, whether that's putting a picture up on your wall, um, putting like it in your phone, putting a picture as your background on your phone, putting it in your notes on your phone or something like that, or even setting a reminder of what your goals are and reviewing them once a week or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, for me, I just have pictures, so that's kind of
Mhm.
what I do. So that's important as like a reminder to like what your goals are and like what how you want to achieve them. So
Yeah, that's what I definitely remember that when we stopped. Like, well, technically we stopped because I was too dang sore because we ran a 50K like in May or something. I think it was May, end of
yeah,
May, and like I had ran every day for the whole year up until that point, and um, I mean it was probably the best thing I could have done for myself last year was that. But then I ran a 50K, and then like I think I ran for another week, but my legs were just like dying, and like running 1 mile is difficult. So then we like said screw it, and like we just stopped, and then I basically didn't run that whole summer until cross country season, which was probably not a smart thing, but I think like just the consistency of running at least a mile a day, like from that point, like that was probably the best thing I could have done because like I didn't have to do this specific training plan. I didn't have to like schedule out my long runs. Like it was just mile a day, no less than a mile. If I felt like running further, do it. If I didn't, just a mile. And you're at least minimum you're gonna get at least 7 miles a week. Like maximum you're probably gonna get more because there's days where I'd run 8 miles. There's days where I'd run three. So like
yeah,
so it definitely works out pretty good. So it's I mean that's something. I'm gonna try to do next year is definitely try to run every day, just at least a mile a day. I mean, obviously I'd be running more than that, 6 or
Yeah.
7 miles a week, but we'll definitely see how that
Yeah,
goes.
I think it's funny we're talking about running whatever 1 mile a day for like 100 days or whatever. Because there's a girl that just finished running across the United States for Team RWB who ran like a marathon. She started out trying to run 40 miles a day, I think,
Hmm.
and she ended up going down to 20 or a marathon a day, and she just finished like 3 days ago. So we can post her link down at the bottom. It's Anna Runs America, and she just finished in New York. So she ran from LA to New York City, I think, in like 4 months or something. So feel free to check her out, give her some love and support.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. I mean, like we're running a mile a day, and then she's out here running 26. But
Yeah,
I mean, that's not for the whole year, though, I guess. But people have done it for a whole year. I mean, what's their names in Australia did it for
yeah,
366 days or something like that.
yeah. That broke the record or whatever.
Yeah, running raw uh, around Australia, I think is what their name was or something like that. But yeah, so it's like, you know, but still, like doing something like setting definitely like goals. So you were saying definitely is very important. But
Yeah,
especially for like ultra running, you can't like. I mean, for what I've ran of ultras, I haven't done a whole lot, but like you ask any ultra runner, like they've all set goals. Like any,
yeah,
I mean, like just the fact that they ran an ultra race, like 50K or whatever, like just the fact that they ran a 50K, if that's like the longest they've gone, like they already set goals based on that. Like
yeah,
at some point, like if you're running 26 miles or 50K, like at some point in your race, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. But like you've already set your goal that you're gonna finish that race, and that's why a lot of times, like with ultra running, people don't necessarily like, oh, what was your time? Like, what was your time? Like, because people just like, oh, you finished. Like, like people care that you finished. Like, people don't even for marathon. Like, people don't even ask you your time. They just like, you finished a marathon. Like,
yeah,
they're just impressed because it's like you actually did something.
yeah,
You accomplished something that not a lot of people have done. So, and that's
yeah,
I mean that's quite a good feeling.
yeah. Also, one thing I've noticed is that you have to. I think like when you set goals, you can't set them in. You have to set them in stone, but you have to be okay with reevaluating them. I would say because I know in the last marathon I did, I set out to do a 4 hour marathon, and it's and so most people when they start setting goals, it's either all or nothing. So like
Right.
at mile 20, I knew that I wasn't going to hit 4 hours, and so at some point you have to readjust and go like, is my goal like to run the 4 hour, or like should I readjust it and go, my goal now is just to finish, or I could still run a sub 6 hour and you know pretty respectfully have a decent, not a super bad time. Plus, it was my first marathon finish, so
Mm-hmm.
for me, I think I see a lot of that in ultra running where you get guys who want to run a sub 24 100 mile, and then they start out running fast and they start doing good. I know, like Alex especially, started out strong, was on pace, and then about halfway through, he lost his pace, and you kind of have to reevaluate because if you don't do it real quick, you're gonna quit basically, and
Mm-hmm.
you'll give up on your whatever 50 miles that you've already done, and like toss. I mean, not throw them away because you did run them, and that is still an awesome thing that you've done. But at the same time, like if you can continue to go, like why not reset another goal that you can achieve that's more attainable?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely setting goals that are achievable, realistically achievable goals is gonna be better. Because like for me, like I run at like 5K races, like for instance, like I think my fastest is like 18 something, like a low 18. Like for me to go like, oh, I'm gonna run a 15. Like my goal is to run a 15 like by the end of next year. Like that'd be pretty unrealistic. Like not unless I train like my butt off and super hard. Then like and there was a miracle to happen. Like now if I
Yeah,
was like, oh, I want to run like a low 17, like that's taking a minute off. That's probably more achievable. And then if
yeah,
you wind up doing better than that, that's great. But like if I set myself at 15, 15, 15 minutes, and then get like 17 and a half, I'm like, well, I feel like I didn't even do that good.
yeah,
So, I mean, it works the same way with ultra races and whatnot because, like you're saying, like, oh, I want to get this time, I want to get this time, I want to get this time. Especially if you're experienced ultra running, and then like you've already ran, you already ran a 50-mile race and you've ran two 50-mile races already. So like this is your third time running it. Like I want to beat my time, and then you wind up getting halfway and you're like looking at your watch, like I'm not going to beat my time, like, and you just kind of like say screw it. But like that's when you go like, oh, I don't want to like. My goal is not always to beat myself. My goal is ultimately your goal should be to finish if you're running an ultra race. And
yeah,
then if you want to go for time, that's great too. But ultimately, like finishing is such a big achievement in itself. So,
yeah.
but well, we're at 26 minutes. I guess it's almost time to wrap it on up.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
but yeah, definitely like setting goals, being consistent, and just staying to like some type of plan or like whatever you do. Definitely like 30 minutes to an hour a day, like a couple of days a week is going to help you to be um, just that much better when it comes to
More
fitness.
productive.
Yeah, and more productive. Um, and just being consistent is going to be such a key to just yeah, just I mean for everything. So,
Yeah, in life, man.
but if you like our episode, this is episode number 10. We of course have episode 1 through 9. Hopefully those will be up on our Ultra Bros channel within a week. We're
Yeah.
just getting things rolling, so like we're trying to stay consistent. Again, we're trying me, Keith, and Alex when he gets back on, when he gets back, we're trying to stay consistent with this so that we can just get a great message out there of staying healthy, living just a better life. So
Living an ultra life, man.
you can check out all the rest of our episodes on this channel, the Ultra Bros channel. Again, if you're on my channel or Keith's channel, just click the link below and you can go over to our main channel. Um, but as far as that goes, thanks for watching. If you made it
Yeah.
this far, don't forget to click subscribe down below and give this and share this video around with your friends. And um, we'll definitely see you in the next episode.
Yeah. Also, if you guys you know, have anybody that you would like to see on the show,
For
go
sure.
ahead and send us a message or a comment down below, or hit us up on Twitter or Facebook, and we'd love to, at least get at them and try to get them on. Um, so if you feel like anybody's, living an ultra life, we want to bring them on and chat with them and see what their ideas and thoughts are, and how they can be an inspiration to you guys. So
Hmm.
um, make sure you do that for us. And then I think this is it. So
Yeah, see you later. See you in the
see you
next
guys.
episode.
Yeah, see you guys number 11.